The most famous truck in America is gone. That blue Scania that pulled crowds at every truck stop, that racked up millions of views, that made a whole country fall for a brand it can't even buy, got loaded onto a ship and sent back to Sweden. And everybody thinks that's the end of the story, a sad goodbye. Scania tried America, and America said no. But that is completely wrong. Because here is the truth. Almost nobody realizes. Scania didn't leave America at all. In fact, Scania is already here. It's on the highway right now, today, and you have almost certainly driven right past it without having the faintest idea. So how is that possible? And why would a company ship one truck home with a big, emotional, camera-ready goodbye while quietly slipping in through a back door that nobody is even watching? Stick with me, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And none of what I'm about to tell you is a guess. Every bit of it is documented and out in the open, if you know where to look. So let's start with that blue truck and why it really left. The official version is simple. It was a demonstration truck on a set clock, and when the time was up, it went home. All true. But that clean little ending hides a much bigger move. Because while everyone was watching that one truck sail away, feeling sad, Scania's engineers had already done something far smarter. They didn't try to force a whole Scania truck through America's front door, past all the safety rules, the emissions tests, and the dealer problem. That's slow and brutally expensive. Instead, they took the one part that actually matters most, the beating heart of the truck, and they walked it straight in the back. And they built a factory on American soil to do it, right under everyone's nose. Here's the part that's going to change how you see every truck on the road. Deep in the state of Alabama, in a city called Huntsville, there is a plant. And inside that plant, American workers are building a brand new engine called the S13. It powers international trucks, one of the most all-American brands there is. You see them on every highway in the country. That plant has been running since 2008, and it has built well over 1 million engines. Recently, Stratton expanded it, added a whole new assembly line, and retooled it around this one engine. But that engine? It is not really American. At its core, the S13 is built on Scania's engine, the same low-revving, high-torque Swedish design that made Scania a legend. Stratton, the giant company that owns Scania, also owns International. So they took Scania's engineering, shipped the know-how across the ocean, and set American hands to build it on American soil. This isn't a rumor or a theory. Stratton poured around $190 million into that Huntsville plant to make it happen. That engine makes up to 515 horsepower. And because it's built on Scania's low-revving design, it sips fuel, cutting consumption by around 15%. And here's the kicker. This exact engine family launched in Europe first, then Brazil, and then America. Same Swedish heart, 3 different continents, 3 different badges. So, let that really sink in for a second. While the internet was crying over one blue Scania leaving on a boat, thousands of American trucks were already rolling out of factories, with Scania's DNA humming under the hood, wearing an international badge, hauling freight across every state, passing you on the interstate. And almost nobody driving next to them has the slightest clue. That quiet, clean-burning engine you hear pulling a heavy load up a grade, it might just be speaking Swedish with an American accent. So if Scania's heart is already beating here, and they clearly know exactly how to get it into America, then why on earth won't they just sell you the actual truck? Why go through the whole sad goodbye? Why keep up the act at all? And this is where it gets really interesting. Because the reason is not what you'd expect, and it is pure, cold business genius. It's not that Scania can't pass the tests. It's not that Americans wouldn't buy it. The real reason comes down to family and money. See, Stratton already has its American brand. It's called International, and it comes with something that took decades and a fortune to build. A huge network of dealers and service centers spread right across the country. Now, think about what selling a badge Scania here would actually mean. Stratton would have to build a second, completely separate network from scratch. Hundreds of new dealers, thousands of new mechanics, all just to sell a truck that would then turn around and compete against its own international brand for the exact same buyers. In plain English, they'd be spending a small fortune to make 2 of their own brands fight each other. That is a terrible idea. So, they do the clever thing instead. They keep International out front, selling the trucks and using the network that already exists. and they quietly pour Scania's brilliant engineering straight into it. The family wins twice, and the customer never even has to know. And there's a second reason, a colder one, and the timing tells the whole story. Right now, the American truck market is going through a rough patch. Sales have been sliding, freight has been weak. Trucks have been piling up unsold. In fact, International's own deliveries dropped by nearly a third in a single recent year, hammered by tariffs and a shaky freight market. So, ask yourself, would you launch a brand new, expensive foreign truck brand, build hundreds of dealerships, and train thousands of mechanics right into a market that's shrinking? Of course not. You'd be insane. You wait, you get your engine established, you build the trust, and you watch for the moment the market turns. So this isn't a no. It's not yet. Smart companies don't storm a burning building. They wait for the fire to die down, and then they walk in and take the best room. Which brings us to the big question everybody actually wants answered. Is Scania ever really coming? And here's the honest read, based on what the company and the analysts are actually saying. Not on wishful thinking. The pieces are quietly being put in place. The engine is already being built here. The parent company already owns a full American truck maker with dealers and service centers in all 50 states. The engineering is proven, running on our roads, passing our rules. Every single hard part of entering America, the engineering, the emissions, the factory, the dealer network, Scania has already quietly solved it through that back door, using International. The people who study this industry for a living all point to the same thing. The most likely way Scania ever truly arrives here isn't a big launch with a new badge. It's this. Riding in slowly on the back of International, one shared part at a time. The engine today, maybe the transmission and the electronics tomorrow. So the real question was never if Scania's technology takes over more of the American road. It's how much of it will still quietly wear someone else's name while it does. So where does that leave Bruce Wilson, the guy who kicked this whole thing off? Well, remember, that famous blue truck was never actually his to keep. It was a lone demonstrator that always belonged to Scania. But here's the thing people forget. Bruce didn't start with that truck, and he sure isn't ending with it either. He built this whole following on older Scanias. He legally imported and actually owned himself, years before the famous blue one ever showed up. That passion and that audience of millions doesn't just vanish because one truck sailed home. And here's the real point. He didn't just drive a truck around. He proved something huge to a giant corporation. He showed them, with millions of views, that America is genuinely hungry for what they build. That's the kind of grassroots excitement no ad campaign could ever buy, and one guy from Tennessee created it almost by accident. So this isn't the end for Bruce. Whatever comes next for Scania in America, he'll be remembered as the man who lit the match. So here's the bottom line, and it flips the whole sad story on its head. Scania didn't lose to America. Scania didn't retreat. That goodbye everybody watched was a magician's trick, keeping your eyes on one hand, on one blue truck sailing away, while the other hand had already quietly slipped the most important piece into place. Right here in Alabama. The truck left, the technology stayed, and the quiet takeover had already started, without a single Scania badge in sight. That's not a company giving up on America. That's a company that's already halfway in the door. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Scania is playing the smartest long game in trucking, sneaking in the back while everyone watches the front? Or do you think a real badge Scania will never truly be allowed to compete on American roads? And to be honest, if you found out your next International was secretly running a Scania heart, would that make you want it more or less? Drop it down in the comments, because I have a feeling you're going to disagree with each other, and I want to read every word of it. If you enjoyed this one, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe, because this story is very far from over. Until next time, stay safe out there.